So recently I purchased a Dyson Big+Quiet BP03 air purifier. It's a big investment in your home air quality, and it's definitely something people are gonna have questions about before they purchase it. So I wanna do a quick video about some of the things you might wanna know. So first off is the size. This thing is quite large. It is a piece of furniture essentially. So you have to like the design and you have to have a spot for it in your home. Here's it next to a standard folding chair. You might want to use that for reference. It is the size of a dining room chair, give or take. You know, it's solid, so it has a lot of mass to it and depth, and it weighs about 40 pounds. So I would say it's substantial. Here's it next to a standard banana. That's usually the pretty good way to go about these things from a size or scale perspective. The next thing I would note, and I didn't know about this one before buying it, is that it is on casters. So it can roll around, which is really nice. It helps aiming it, helps when you're cleaning in case you want to clean around it. And it's just a generally nice feature because you don't want to have to pick this thing up too often. It's sensitive, it's expensive, and it's pretty heavy. The next thing I would note is that it has a remote. If you've had a Dyson fan before, you know most of them have remotes of some kind. It's very useful. The problem is that about 100 out of 100 times, you will lose this remote, but the Big+Quiet has a helpful feature to prevent that. If you turn it around, you'll see this little panel right here, and the remote will stick right to it. That way you always know where the remote is. The only issue is if you have children, then this is accessible, but it is pretty well hidden. So if they don't know it's there, they won't grab it. Another cool feature of the Big+Quiet is that the sensor array and what it's being sensed is listed on the side. You can see the little holes here for the sensors. It has formaldehyde. That's the HCH0. That is listed at the top in orange, since that's one of the most important called out ones. Then you have your benzene, ammonia, and the nitrogen dioxide, and some of the other things that it's looking for. VOC chemicals is also called out, and then you have your PM1 through 10. Here's a view of the display. It's right there on the front and it has a sleep mode so that you can darken it while you're not using it. So another feature that's worth noting is that there's a filter life indicator built right into the air purifier. I haven't seen that in other Dysons, and it's not that popular on air purifiers I've owned. This is after about 2.5 months of use. You can see I've barely made a dent in this. The air purifier's filters should be good for about 2 years. So even though the filters are expensive to replace, you don't have to replace them that often. That gives the Dyson a big advantage over a lot of the competition. Another cool feature is that there is a 24-hour air quality history saved onto the air purifier. That way you could look back on the history and see how things that happened over the past day affected the air quality. You can also see the effect of running the filter or running the air purifier has on your air quality over the course of a few hours. So if your air quality is in yellow for some reason, maybe you're cooking or moving furniture or dusting, then you could turn the air purifier on and see it go down. You could also increase the fan speed, see if that has an effect, or you could change the placement of the air purifier and see how effective that is. Another cool feature is that you have your settings, like this is your PM 2.5. So it's the very small particles in the air, and it will give you a green check. That just means, hey, everything's okay. It will also give you a more specific setting if you wait for a little while. This is saying, okay, are you in a good range? Yes. Well, what is this specific measurement? That's 3 nanograms per meter cube. So not only is it giving you the green check, but it's giving you insight to the specific level that's being monitored. That's very cool if you're into data like that. Other settings have that. Like in this case, PM10 has that. That's your pollen and other large particulate. Not all of them have that though. If you're into the color schemes of these things, you have to realize that there's different models that have different colors. This is sort of a navy and gold with a silver. It's much more subtle than it appears on the website. So if you could see these in person, that's really good. The best thing to do is obviously get it into your home and see how it looks in that context. If you do the BP03, the BP04, the BP06, they have different colors available. Usually some colors are unique to Dyson. So because this thing is an investment and essentially a piece of furniture in your home, you may be sensitive about the colors, so you want to choose accordingly. If you're considering the BP03 versus the higher end and only sold through Dyson BP04, the basic sensors are essentially the same. There's 1 or 2 extra features on the BP04 that you may be interested in, but it's not going to be a big deal for most people. The vast majority of people will want the BP03. The BP06 is going to be the sort of business model. It has the design, but it's lacking a lot of the features. The big difference with the BP04, it has that carbon dioxide sensor in it, which I didn't need, I'm not particularly worried about, and you could save 100, 150 bucks by going with the standard BP03. Another feature that may not be obvious is that this fan cowl does not move up and down. You tilt the airflow by using this setting right here. Basically, you could have it flat, 25 degrees, or 50 degrees using the remote control. It's not something you adjust physically. This thing has no moving parts aside from the casters. If you're curious about the fan speed, I have it on 1 now. That's the lowest setting. Let's move it up to 10 and you see if you could see the difference with the camera. Here's 1. And this is 10. Most people would just want to keep it on auto mode. So yeah, that's some useful stuff you may want to know about the Dyson Big and Quiet Air Purifier before you buy it. Thanks for watching.